were me, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, at Trinity College, and on the other side, Kathleen Sebelius, the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Trinity College, 1970. Two women college graduates playing important roles in the passage of that bill. And of course, Barbara Lee was there, so Barbara Mikulski went to a women's college. All of us were making the point to the president as women contributed greatly to the passage of this bill and made a difference. And healthcare is, I think, for most of us in Congress, our proudest achievement in terms of public policy in the Congress. And it would not have been possible without the vision and extraordinary leadership of President Barack Obama. I tell you this, Barbara remembers that night, and some of you have told me that you watched it on TV and all the rest and saw the vote count, and oh my gosh, and there it was, gavel it down. The motion passes. The president called after that, and he said, when the bill passed the House, the health care bill passed the House, I was happier than I was the night I was elected President of the United States. Imagine having a president who would say that. Barbara, I said, I was pretty happy when the bill passed too, Mr. President. But not happier than when you were elected President of the United States. Because if you were not elected President of the United States, we would not have had this bill passed without your vision and the idea that you would sign it into law. Again, this is a bill that changes your lives. For young people, for the first time in history, you can stay on your parents' policy until you're 26 years old after you graduate from college. For children and all Americans, the day has ended when you are denied coverage because you have a pre-existing medical condition. For seniors, Medicare is strengthened, the donut hole is closed. You don't know what that is, but those of us who are seniors, we know what the donut hole is closed means for prescription drugs. And for all Americans, this health care gives you the freedom. You have time now because of this new law to stay on your parents' policies, if your parents go along with that, and if that's an option for you. But for everyone, just think of the freedom. Our founders, they were so great, certain unalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They sacrificed everything so we'd have the pursuit of happiness. Think about that. This bill gives you a healthier life, the liberty to pursue your own happiness, whatever it is. And if you are married with children already, you can pursue it without worrying that they're not going to have health care. Your family's not going to have health care. Or you're not going to have it. So if you want to be a musician or a photographer or a writer, Carla, whatever, you can do that without having to have a different job that has health insurance with it. You're not job locked. You can be self-employed. You can have a small business that you may want to start. You can change jobs. If you lose your job, you're always protected in terms of health care. And no longer will a family be bankrupt because someone in the family gets sick. But what I love about it is, no longer will being a woman be a pre-existing medical condition. Barbara mentioned about the fact that the bills, unbeknownst to some, but important to many of us, lowers the cost of student loans, caps student loan payments, extends and expands Pell Grants, and rewards those who pursue public service with loan forgiveness. It makes a real difference for the American people. Being Speaker of the House has many privileges. I mentioned some earlier, to be able to travel to Africa with my colleagues, to go to where humanity is suffering, and try to bring relief or better knowledge of how to formulate public policy at home. In my travels as speaker, I have met with presidents, prime ministers, and kings. Barbara has been with, we've been together on many of those occasions. But what has inspired me and impressed me the most were my encounters with students. The students I meet all over the world are weary of war. They want an end to violence, whether it's in the Middle East, whether it's in Afghanistan or Iraq, whether it's genocide in the Darfur. They want an end to violence. They want their leadership to talk about jobs and economic growth and education and shared prosperity. And many of them are interested in the issue, addressing the climate crisis issue. And may I congratulate the Mills College class of 2010 for being so green. Green in the choice of your bottles to drink, green, and that's your color. And green in terms of the gallons that you have. I understand in 1 year they could be a tree or something like that. Compost, whatever it is, biodegradable. But it's really important. And when I became Speaker of the House, my flagship issue was energy independence and climate change. To make us, it's an issue of national security, to reduce our dependence on foreign oil and have to go to war over it. It's an issue of our being number one in innovation by creating new green jobs for the future. It's a health issue to reduce the emissions in the air. And if you believe, as I do, that this planet is God's creation, or even if you don't and you just believe we have a responsibility to the next generation, then we must preserve this planet. So I thank you for your commitment to the environment and to addressing climate change and preserving this beautiful planet. And that is what I've learned somewhat in my travels, and of course here at home and from you today. That is why I have such faith in the future. Because young people have the enormous challenges and difficult choices. They also have a tremendous amount of impatience. And the patience of youth to do things differently, to get a job done, to make a difference, to have answers. That's what gives me so much faith in the future. I've shared with graduates over and over again a Greek word, ananke. It means destiny. It means scarcity. The Greeks were suggesting that in times of scarcity, and indeed we are in times of scarcity now, we have to make very difficult choices, deliberate choices. Throughout our history, America has confronted and surmounted each moment of ananke. We did so because each generation, at each critical moment, we understood the challenge to make a bold choice and shaped our destiny of our own. And now, as you leave this beautiful, beautiful campus, beautiful in every way, beautiful in the diversity of this Mills class of 2010, beautiful in the knowledge conveyed from your teachers and professors, and beautiful in the physical setting and in many other ways. You will do so with an exceptional education, with the highest of aspirations, I can sure tell that, starting with Hazel, and with the love and support of this community. I was so impressed that your gift to the school is a garden, and may that garden that you have planted be a symbol of the difference that you will make in the world to watch things grow in a different way. Thank you for this honorary degree. I'm very, very proud to receive it. I'm honored to be a member of the Mills College class of 2010. I just want you to remember, as you go out today and go forward, that you have a friend in the Speaker's office, as well as a classmate. Strong women, proud women, all women, Mills women.